Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Disability Matters. I'm Morgan Spicer, Self-Advocate Coordinator with People First of West Virginia. I've learned over the years the importance of self-advocacy and how much of an impact it makes to have your story out there. Disability Matters is designed to cover a wide range of topics that will inform you, inspire you, and encourage you to strengthen your advocacy journey. Now, we'll do this by offering a variety of guests as well as interviews with advocates around the state. It's not just legislative advocacy, it's so much more. So this month, we had a chance to talk to Kevin Nuñez, Regional Representative for Self-Advocates Being Empowered, SABE. He is also the author of two books, Confessions from Disability Limbo and Beyond What You See, A Journey of Faith. He also has a podcast called The Advocacy Life, which he will talk about during the interview. So let's get right to it with this month's guest, Kevin Nuñez. Today's guest is Kevin Nuñez. He's going to talk about a virtual conference for SABE, Self-Advocates Being Empowered, which you are invited to be a part of. But first, let's learn a little bit about Kevin. He served as Vice Chair for the New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities from 2017 to 2024. He has been involved in advising policymakers on how to improve services for people with developmental disabilities in the state and has worked on issues like including people with disabilities in school emergency plans through the Advocacy Life podcast and blog. Nuñez shares his personal stories, discusses policy, and provides tools for self-advocacy. He has used his platform to talk about his own experiences and to encourage others to get involved. Nuñez has been a guest on podcasts and spoken to news outlets. For example, he's been interviewed by New Jersey Spotlight News about the financial challenges faced by people with disabilities, specifically the $2,000 asset limit. He's also been a guest of Senator Andy Kim at the State of the Union address, where he advocated for the protection of Medicaid funding. And he has a book that is available on Amazon. Confessions from Disability Limbo is an autobiographical commentary on society and the disability community. In it, he shares his perspective and life experiences as a person in a powered wheelchair to foster greater understanding. He has said that his advocacy journey began out of necessity, and his book and podcast explore these personal origins. So thank you for joining me today, Kevin, and welcome to Disability Matters.
Thank you, Morgan, for the wonderful introduction. I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm thrilled. Shoot, any questions you have, bring them on.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm really excited to interview you. So let's go ahead and get started. So your advocacy journey, as you've shared in different places and publications over the years, started out of necessity. Can you elaborate on the personal experiences that led you to become a disability advocate and how those early struggles continue to shape your work today?
Yes, gladly. A lot of people don't know this, but I have a twin brother who's also diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Same diagnosis, but it affects us differently. So that was my step one into advocacy. I had to sometimes advocate on his behalf because his verbal abilities are not always the best if he's not surrounded by people he trusts. In addition, I also, when I was in school, I was in mainstream classes, but I was always kind of stuck in limbo, hence the title of the book, because I was not normal enough, quote unquote, for the regular world, but not disabled enough for the disabled population, because I was honestly too functional for special ed. So I would often end up kind of stuck in between two worlds. That's why I advocated the way I did.
Now, you've spoken about the financial barriers that people with disabilities face, such as the $2,000 asset limit for Social Security income. In your opinion, what is the single most urgent policy change needed to achieve financial equity for the disability community?
We need to raise the asset limit to at least 5,000, if not $10,000 for a single person. Um, Also, marriage equality, because a lot of people don't even know this, but people with disabilities are discouraged from being married or even having children because we can't even have health insurance because that's counted as an asset. So we're discouraged from having children. We're discouraged from having partners. So all those three things in one, they kind of all go together.
I recently got to attend disability policy seminar earlier this year, and that was something that they were talking about was the $2,000 asset limit, and the advocacy needed to raise that a little bit higher. So
Yes, for sure. Um, if the asset limit was created in 1983, it's now 2025. Everything has gone up, not through any particular party, just the way life works. So it's asinine that everything went up, but our own supposed salaries to live on.
right, and it really stops people from loving each other. I mean, marriage is like that vow of you're going to love each other forever and we're going to be together forever, but this asset limit kind of just holds people back, and we don't want to hold the disability community back.
I could not have said it better myself. Very well said. It is it's three substantial barriers, systemic barriers that are lined up almost succinctly to keep us stagnant.
Okay. So as an advocate, you've represented a wide range of individuals. How do you ensure that the diverse voices and needs within the disability community, especially those who are nonverbal or face significant communication barriers, are heard and represented in policy making?
Sure. For about 10 years, from about roughly 2010 to 2020, I spent traveling my state of New Jersey. I visited a series of habilitary day programs just to make sure I always had that perspective in mind when I talk to legislators. When I train new staff, I do drills. Like I make them put their shoes on the wrong feet so they can literally feel what it's like to walk around unbalanced and unsure and uncomfortable because so often our folks who require significant support needs have things like shoes on the wrong feet for the whole day because staff don't notice. So it's a literal way to make them feel what it's like to have a disability for a few minutes or a few seconds, um, or what have you.
In your book, Confessions from Disability Limbo, you discuss society's perception of people with disabilities. What is the most common misconception you encounter? And what is the single most important message you hope to convey to people who are not part of the disability community?
Uh, Wonderful question. And I also followed up with this on my second book that was just released called Beyond What You See, A Journey of Faith, also on Amazon as of 2 months ago. Um, Realizing that disability is not to be feared. It is simply a part of the human experience. Um, Statistically, 1 in 4 people are diagnosed with the development of disability at one point in their lives. I think sooner or later it'll be all of us, because sooner or later we're all affected by disability. So, disability is not to be feared or a burden in society. It's meant to be a part of society, just like anything else.
And it's something that we say a lot here in People First, especially, myself, I say this a lot, is that individuals with disabilities need to be seen as people first because they are an individual and the disability is something that we shouldn't be looking at. We should be looking at the individual that they are.
Yes, the same mantra goes for the New Jersey People First. Somebody I know very well, because it's organized by our Disability Council. So I know the People First movement very well.
What advice would you give to a young person with a disability who is just beginning to discover their voice and wants to get involved in self advocacy?
We need you at the table now more than ever. Disability is not or cannot be a partisan issue. It is a political issue because we do need the government, just like any other American. So we are involved in the political space, but we cannot be aligned with any particular political party. So we need to find spaces at the tables. We need to go to the school board meetings. We need to go to the town council meetings. We need to, once we have the right tools, run for those offices. We need to meet with local legislators. They have to hear our stories. They have to know. They have to know what matters. Because the sad truth is, in America, unless you're affected by disability or living with the disability, you have no idea what it's like.
Absolutely. Yeah, that goes back to, people, insulting and making fun of individuals. It's like, you don't know what they're going through. You haven't walked a mile in their shoes. Um, so I think your answer was a great one. And one of the things I will say that we have done here with People First is we have done youth conferences. Um, we have went to several high schools around the West Virginia area and started teaching the younger generation why it's so important to advocate. So we are trying to start early and build it up.
I could not agree more.
So you've been involved with both the New Jersey Council on Developmental Disabilities and SABE, Self Advocates Being Empowered. What do you see as the key differences between state level and national level disability advocacy?
In some ways, they're similar. In some ways, they're very different. Um, in some ways, it's all about the bigger picture. In some ways, it's not. Um, Honestly, our voices still matter. Our mission is the same. We have to stop as a disability community living in our own little silos. We have to come together and, as a population, as a community, and be that one collective voice. One of the movements I've joined is called Yes Access, where it literally is a grassroots campaign social media movement with the hashtag Get Access to have people tell their stories on various social media platforms.
So plans are well underway for the upcoming regional Uniting the Disability Community virtual conference presented by Self Advocates Becoming Empowered, SABE. Can you tell us more about this event, including the states it will include, date of the event, and anything else we need to know?
Yes, we have a keynote speaker from Yes Access that will tell us how to build a grassroots movement and how it's effective. They just launched their virtual activation event as of 3 months ago. We've got 4 states presenting on 4 different disability projects and innovations. We've got, of course, the wonderful state of West Virginia, the wonderful state of New Jersey, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. They're all gonna participate and give various presentations. So it'll be educational and educational at the same time. One of the biggest things we're doing is we're holding elections for new board positions for the Self Advocates Becoming Empowered Board of Directors. Um, my term is up, so this is a really important time for people to get on board because I can't wait to pass the torch to someone new. If anyone is interested, let me know and I will give them all the information that are required. The applications will be out hopefully next week. The save the dates have gone out, and the registration link will be out October 1st for people to register online.
Yes, I'm very excited to be a part of that. And we have been mentioning it a lot in like teleconferences and our monthly newsletters. And we have a couple advocates that are interested in attending virtual. So I have sent them the information. So I'm excited to have them attend as well.
Awesome, that's wonderful. Like I
Yes.
said, it's time to pass the torch. My term is up. As soon as I have the application, I will send it to you, spread it to your network, and I'm also working on some sort of guidebook to give the next regional representative, whoever they will be, so they'll have follow up steps as we go forward. My term ends in January, so the new person will start in January.
Wow. So once you're done, are you going to what are you going to do once you're finished? Like once your term's up in January?
I have been approached to join another national organization known as CASH. Um, uh, we are starting the New Jersey CASH chapter. I was approached to sit on the CASH national board, so I might be doing that. I might be doing that.
Nice. So if people want to know more about you, your podcast and the SABE meeting, what's the best way to do that?
Sure. I'll give you the link to my website if you don't already have it. Um, I've got a podcast every Wednesday. I've got a community blog comes out once a month. I've got a paid newsletter if you want more personal, anecdotal stories about me. Um, in regards to SABE, they're working on a newsletter right now, so that'll be out as far as SABE goes very soon. I know because I'm the one making that newsletter and rebuilding their website. So me and the public relations committee are literally rebuilding the website as we speak. So hopefully by January you'll have a brand new sparkly website for SABE as well.
Nice. Well, I will definitely have to listen to that podcast. Where can you find the podcast at? Like Spotify, Apple?
It's on all podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube,
Oh,
Pandora, all that stuff. If you want the visual, it's on YouTube as well. Some people, some people want to watch me talk. Um, I don't think I'm that interesting, but some people do. So, um, I'm also on all the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Simply the advocacy life. It's all the advocacy life. So just use the hashtag or @ symbol, the advocacy life, and you'll find everything. Yeah. And also, if you Google my name, you'll find both my books. Um, Confessions from Disability Limbo, released in 2021, and Beyond What You See, A Journey of Faith was released in 2024. No, wait,
nice.
it's 2 months ago, 2025. Sorry.
Nice. You've written two books then. So
Yes,
you've
yes,
done a lot. You've been in the community for quite a long time, and you're writing from experience, and you're writing
yes,
as somebody that is, as you said, passing the torch,
yes. No,
helping a new generation, do what you do.
yes. My final book in the series, which I'm currently writing now, is all about passing the torch. Basically taking all I've learned and passing it forward. Um, I'm currently writing that book as we speak.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you would like to add that we haven't talked about? Anything you want to say?
No, it was a pleasure to be part of your show. We need younger advocates more than ever. We need spirit more than ever. We need organization more than ever. We need less fighting amongst ourselves as the disability community. Stop fighting over the same resources and learn how to use them together.
Yes. Now it reminds me of our theme for the our People First conference that we had earlier this month. It was we're all in this together, and we truly are all in this together. Um, I tell a lot of people that I feel like People First is a strength in numbers thing.
Exactly.
When I joined it years ago, you find a like-minded group of people that are going through issues, and you start to care, you start to help them, and in the end they've gained allies, and in the end you're fighting as well for the things it's important to you.
Exactly. A lot of times when I talk to legislators, they're like, "Well, we don't know what to do because we think you guys argue amongst yourselves. So how do we help you?" We gotta stop that and realize it's one mission and stop our own little silos. And work together. It's all about collaboration.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your time, and thank you so much again for joining me today.
No problem, my friend. Anytime. If you want to re-say any answers or type anything up for you, let me know. I'll give them to you right away.
All right. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us this month. If you're interested in purchasing his books, Confessions from Disability Limbo and Beyond What You See, A Journey of Faith, we encourage you to visit Amazon.com and type in Kevin Nuñez. If you would like to listen to the Advocacy Life podcast, check it out at advocatekevinnunez.wordpress.com and connect with him on Facebook by visiting the Advocacy Life relaunched page. Don't forget, if you want to be featured on an episode of Disability Matters or have a subject you would like discussed on a future episode, you can reach out to me by calling the ARC at 304 422 3151 extension 129, or you can email me at morgan.spicer at thearcmov.org. Now, I'm in my office on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If I'm not available, please leave a message and I will return your call as soon as I'm available. With that, we're out of time for this month. Join us next time for another episode of Disability Matters, where we're advocating, educating, and celebrating the potential within you. See you next time.